Hey, what's up, my people? What's up? I'm very white today, huh? Got the light, very bright. I'm just supposed to put some covers on them, but I didn't. So I'm gonna check out this. That's what I have here today and see how it looks. But anyway, welcome to my channel. This is King Gio. I am your host, King Gio, and I wanted to do something. Um, Hopefully, it can clarify something. Today, I want to talk about the young missing girl from Long Island City, Gabby Petito. Gabby Petito. As you well know, she was with her boyfriend. They went from, I think it was in Florida, and they was going to do a cross country trip. And somewhere, the mother says that she called every two or three, I mean, three or four times a week. They'd be doing FaceTime. And the last call that she got was from a daughter, was in August. In August. And so they've been looking for her since August. And there's nothing to be found. They don't know anything about her. But the interesting thing about this is that her boyfriend, all right, her boyfriend Brian Laundry showed up yesterday or yesterday the day before with his van, with the same van that they went to on this trip. They showed back. I mean, he came back alone. He came back alone. Um, his statement to the police, yeah, he hasn't made a complete statement, but from what I read here, he says, on behalf of the Laundry family, it is our hope that the search for Miss Petito is successful and that Miss Petito is reunited with her family, said a statement issued through an attorney. On the advice of the counsel, he's not going to talk. He retained a lawyer. He refused to talk. Petito, originating from Long Island, left the trip with Laundry in July and was last heard from late last month. Late last month, guys. So, we are hoping that this young lady is found alive, that they probably had a feud, and she just went her way, and he went his way, and he said, you know what, I'm walking home, whatever that means, Bureau up, and I think it was in Oklahoma they were at. But this reminds me, because in his mind, in this young man's mind, or in other people's mind, they figured there's no crime if there is no body. And that's been the logic for law for quite some time. For quite some time, that's been the logic. But these people who, if he did this, if he did anything bad to Gabby, it's pretty hope that he did not. But if he did something bad to Gabby, and he went under the assumption that if there's no body, there's no crime, then you're absolutely wrong. Anyone to think that way. There has been precedents in court where there has been no body and the person has been convicted of murder with no body at all. You can look it up. There was just one recently, a few years ago, in Puerto Rico, where there was no body. They called the gentleman. Her name was Yesenia. He was from Caguas. They were last. She was last seen in his van. Then after that, she had disappeared. They didn't catch him for the murder because there was no body. What they called him was he had a fake insurance card, what is called a malvete in Puerto Rico, on the back of your license plate. They called him with that. They arrested him for that, and they arrested him for having a bulletproof vest that he was not authorized for. What it can be. That's what they got him for in the beginning. And then a few months later, after he finished the 4-month sentence, then they charged him with murder. This happened in Puerto Rico 3 years ago. The model was just saying it. You can look it up. I'll put in the link. And we all thought that no body, no case. But what happened was that the DA from Puerto Rico took a case that was president. I think it was in Boston or somewhere in the East Coast. That there was a case where a man was tried and convicted with nobody in sight. So they took that as precedent. As long as you have one precedent in log, and you can think you can derive from that, then mostly judges will let you go forward with that. And the only thing they had on this kid. Okay, now grant you, I'm not saying that he did do it or he didn't do it, but he probably, in my eyes, he probably did something with the girl that was 3 years ago, and she still disappeared. But my thing is that they convicted this young man on a knife on one of those box cutters that had a smudge of blood. It wasn't splattered all over the wall. It was a smudge of blood on the knife. That could mean anything. That could mean that she cut herself. That means that they were playing with the knife, she cut herself, and that was there. That could mean, but the body was never found. So they found him guilty for the murder of Jasenia. Okay, here we go. No body, but because there was a case in the States, they went with that. So it's amazing, right? So this is what I'm assuming this gentleman is basing his thoughts on. Because for him to come home and say he doesn't know where she's at, and then lawyer up, the first thing you do, you go to your parents' house or his parents' house, and listen, something happens to Gabby, I was so scared, blah, blah, blah. It is what it is. Be man and be man up and fess up. But that's not the case. They always lawyer up. So hopefully Gabby's okay, but if it's not, if not, he's going to drag this. They're going to make that family suffer. And it doesn't look good when the pain comes and he's alone. And where is the person that he left with? Whether it be a she or a he. Where is that person? Where? A lot of people commit a lot of crimes thinking they're not going to get away with it. And it's stupid. I'm going to make another story of my daughter's mom. My first daughter, she was murdered in Broward County in Florida 27 years ago. And to this day, they haven't caught her murderer. I'm going to play you the podcast that the Broward County played to find out if anyone knows anything. You're going to see how she was brutally, you're going to hear how brutally she was murdered, how she was just beaten. And 27 years later, you're going to tell me that you have no clue of who did this brutal crime to this young girl because she was 18 years old. Left our daughter behind and whatnot. But I'm gonna put you that tape this week. But before I do that, I want to talk to you also about my alcoholism. And I'm going to go, I'm going to do different series. I don't want to do all the entire video 2 hours, 3 hours, and you guys are going to stay there that long. So I'm going to do a series of half an hour to 45 minutes so you can see how it started with alcoholism and I worked my way up through alcoholism and then I worked my way back to sobriety. And I think it's going to be something good that hopefully it'll help other people out. So going back to Gabby. So this also reminds me of the case where the white girl in Queens, New York got killed, right? And they had no evidence. They had no evidence whatsoever. And they blamed it on this black 19-year-old. And guys, if you see this black 19-year-old, he looks like a kid that he wasn't special at. He looks like a kid that he wouldn't do anything. They didn't catch nothing on him. They didn't catch nothing that pinpoints him to her. Pinpoints him to her. They had no clothing, no items, no nothing that you can say. It's just we're gonna arrest somebody. And the ironic thing is that who found her father? And I think the father had something to do with it. Always, it's kind of sad that you always blame, when it comes to stuff like that, always blame a black person. And it's true. And I don't want to hear no one say that, oh no, Kijio, that's not true. It is true. It is true. I've been in this earth for 49 years, and that's all I've ever heard from the Bronx to Los Angeles. Oh, a black man did it. A black man did it. Not a white man, but a black man did it. That's 9 out of 10 times. He very rarely he was a white guy. Unless a lot of people saw him. Unless a lot of people saw him, they'll say, oh yeah. If a lot of people were there, they'll say, oh, it's a white guy. But if there's nobody there, it's a black guy. And that's the honest to God truth. We all know that. And those who refuse to see that, then you're blind. So like I was saying, so The last thing was Wisconsin, and it's kind of sad. She was a young girl, and hopefully they do find her. Hopefully they do find her, and this gentleman, because I have a gut feeling that he did something to this girl. Um, because you came back, no matter how angry, no matter how angry I'm with my wife or with my girlfriend, whatever it may be, I'm not gonna leave her. We in Florida and we in Wisconsin. I'm not gonna leave her all the way up there by herself. You come with me, but we're just not gonna talk in the car. That's it. You don't say hi. You don't say bye. You go to the bathroom. You tap me in the shoulders. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll stop. But we're not talking. Whatever happened in the little vacate, and it comes to the point that we're not talking to each other, then that's it. But to come down from where they were at, and this is her in the background, guys, just in case you want to see her. That's her right there. So if you wanna to come down from where you guys were at, and you come alone, then you know there's something wrong. For a fact, there's something wrong. Be right back, guys. Like I said in my video, I have this psoriatic arthritis, and it's killing me. Sorry about that, guys. Ooh, so back again.
Sorry about that, guys.
So let's see where is shit. I mean, Gabby Petito. I mean, it would be nice if we can get her whereabouts, but we have to. You know, this has become very. You know, it's alarming, and I say that because when I was growing up, none of this ever happened. None of this. You know, none of it ever happened, and to see this happening, it's kind of young girls dating young guys, and you think you know someone, and boom, this happens. You think it's better if I put the light like this? I don't think it'll make a difference, but let's see. Yes, Shinji is making a mess. Just gotta go through here. Or something. Well, I'll do this tomorrow. I think I have the other light. I think the other light is on, which I should. I'll turn it off. I don't want too many lights. I'm not gonna reach. Like I said, I have bad arthritis, and it's killing me. So, where is Gabby? Where is Gabby Petito? So, if anyone is out there who's watching the show, you're gonna watch it later on. If you know the whereabouts of this young lady, call the Long Island Police Department or whatever numbers there is. I don't have one. Or you can get in contact with me. You can leave your email or your number anonymously, and I will pass it on to the correct authorities. You know, like I said, it's sad. It's sad. Back in my days, you didn't see this. Back in my days, you did not see none of this happening. You really didn't. It has become so scary to date. It really has. And you see the other day I saw where there's a young couple, both boyfriend and girlfriend were arrested because he beat up her kids. He was a stepdad, and he beat up her kids. And I say to women, don't be bringing no men into your life. If you have kids and you want to date those men outside your house. Don't be bringing no one into your house, especially when you got kids, especially when you got girls or even boys. You don't bring, if you want to have your little fun, tell your friend, listen, babysit my kids, I want to go to a motel, but you don't bring no man that you don't know, even if you know him for 6 months, even if you know him for 7 months, you don't bring no man to your home, and you don't introduce them to your kids. You really don't, because you really don't know. And if you're not going to vet that person out, if you're not going to investigate that person out, then there's no point. It's easy to vet the person out. It's not expensive. You can always do it online for free, or you can pay $20, $30, depending on how you're going to vet them out. But it's super important that when you young ladies out there, when you meet a man, I don't care how diesel he is, I don't care how cute he is. When he says, "You go upstairs," no, we can't go upstairs. Oh, my kids are upstairs. My kids are upstairs. My kids come first. Every day, I see in the paper how a boyfriend kills the girlfriend's baby, and that is sad. Because why? Because you're bringing up a man that you don't know. You're bringing him to your house. Okay, it's like Gabby. But Gabby was from what we read, she was with a boyfriend for 2 years. And look what's happening now. She can't be found. Do not trust anybody. Don't be bringing men in your house when you got kids. Don't let. I tell you something. When you got kids, don't let your brothers. Don't let your brothers touch a kid. Have sit in my lap. If it's a girl, you don't trust nobody. Nobody. Most molestations happen within the family. I was always picky with that. I didn't let no one. I didn't let my daughter sit in no one's lap. I never did that. So you have to be very cautious of who you bring home. You really do. You just can't let any man or any man and men, you just can't let any woman in the house think to yourself, well, she's a woman, she's not doing anything. No, you are wrong. There are psycho women out there that will take your life away in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. You don't have to be strong. You just gotta be psycho. And some psycho women do got some strong powers. They really do. You know. So what? So now, what do we do with Gabby? How do we look for her? How do we search for her? You guys out there know where the people are searching, or there is a search? 'Cause I haven't seen anything yet that there is a search, and I'm on here and I haven't seen anything that indicates that there's a search for Gabby or the search started. Let's see. Let me put the news here. It says the family of Gabby Petito on Tuesday slammed her boyfriend for stonewalling police and refusing to say where he last saw her as the search for her continues. Brian is refusing to tell Gabby's family where he last saw her. Their statement said Brian is also refusing to explain why he left Gabby all alone and drove her van to Florida. There are critical questions that require immediate answers. Yes. Yes. So if I don't want to speculate because I want the best outcome. But this guy took this girl's car, took her to Florida, left her wherever she left her, and then doesn't want to answer any questions whatsoever. None. He lawyers up, which he should, but doesn't want to answer any questions. You know, if you're out there, bro, wherever you are, what's your name again, Brian? If you listen to my show, Brian, if you man enough, and you did harm to this girl, to this young lady, be man enough and tell the police, listen, this is what I did. Because if you did something, that family needs to know. That family needs to know where their daughter's at. If the daughter is okay, if the daughter is not okay, you owe it to them. And if you man up, you confess to what you did do. So if you left her there stranded and she was still alive, that's still on you, buddy. But if you did something to her and she's not alive, and you should, as a man, you should fess up because a lot of men do these things. A lot of men, they do things and they don't take responsibility. You know, the same way you have the Texas law that a woman's abortion on 6 weeks. That's retarded. Right? You're taking away the rights of a woman. You're trying to take away the rights for the woman. But yet you have men who are a woman can impregnate herself. So here you have men who are impregnating this woman. So here you're taking away the rights of a woman here, but you don't take away the rights of the man who's doing this. You don't say, if you're the father, you're responsible. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense. So it's the same thing here. He has to, as a man, he has to fess up and say, you know what? This is what happened. This happened. I left her here. This happened and that happened. Because if she is gone, her family wants closure. No. How can you be sick enough to go all the way to this trip and then come alone? And then come out and say on the news, oh, we hope that they find her. Man, you know dead as well if they're gonna find her or not, because you know the answer to that. They're just stalling. They're just stalling. The lawyer's stalling to find out what is the best ramification. So when they say, you know what, this is what I did, this is where she's at. Okay, that's what he is doing. And by doing that, you're not gonna get any more time off. But that's what it is. And like I said before, we need to know, who do we hang out with? Who do we let our daughters hang out with? Oh, I mean, she's already an adult. You know, girls, don't be going around with crazy people. Don't. You got crazy black people, you got crazy Puerto Ricans, you got crazy Mexicans, you got crazy whites. It's a lot. You know, it's a lot. So what do we do? Okay. I wish I can go over to Wisconsin and go out there and look for her. I don't know where she's at. I will take a couple of you guys with me and say, yo, I'm in North Carolina. I'll drive to a halfway point and we'll meet and we search. That's what I would do. Because I've never been in those shoes and I don't want to be in those shoes, I'm sorry to say. But this family needs answers because the boyfriend came back alone in her car. That's her car. That's not his car. So where is she? Where is she? And we need answers. This country is the people are so psycho. The Son of Sam, the Zodiac Killer, Charles Manson, Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Jack the Ripper. We have all these cycles, and you also have psycho women too. But then you say to yourself, wow. And the majority of them were white. I think they had one serial killer that was black. I think he was in Atlanta, Georgia. But the rest, most of them were white. And you said to yourself, what's wrong? What's wrong? I want that girl that you see behind me. I want her found. I want this young lady found. She's 22 years old. She's vibrant. She has a whole life ahead of her. Shit, if things didn't work out, if things were not working out between you and her, why can't you just let it go? I'm doing my own narrative. I'm assuming this is what happened. They had a fight and blah blah blah. He took it too far. So when you have a fight, what you do? You walk away. The fight, you walk away, and even if they accuse you of something, you walk away. And later on, maybe in an hour, maybe two, maybe a day or two, things will go back to normal. And then you can talk like adults, because when you scream, nothing's going to get done. But when you scream and you yell and you do something that's going to take the life, in this case, I hope it didn't happen, take a life away of another human being, that's sad. How can you actually sit there or stand there and take the life of a human being? How can you do that? How can you sleep with yourself? I can't do that. I mean, I can only do that if my life is threatened. If I had to save a family member, my life or your life. But just to go out there in the get-go and just start killing people, start doing something, I cannot do that. But I have too much of a conscience that, I can't forgive myself. I believe in God. I just can't go around killing people. That's not it. And I've had plenty of arguments with my exes and plenty of arguments with my wife. I don't go around saying I'm gonna go kill you. No, I just go to my room, have another room, and I go stay there, watch my TV. She stays in the room, she does her thing, and later on when things are calm, we talk. And if we don't talk during the night, then we'll talk the following day. If not, the following day. But it never escalates to that point. The most that has ever escalated was like, I'm leaving the house. That's the most it's escalated. There's never been any physical or any verbal abuse. We've talked and we come to an agreement, blah, 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 okay, and I say, you know what, I don't need him. That's how far my conversation with my wife has gone. But not to the point that I'm gonna harm you. Because no matter how I feel, no matter what happens, she's still a human being. I cannot harm another human being like that. For whatever reason it is, unless my life depends on it. Unless my life depends on it. I hate men that hate women. I hate men that abuse women. I really do. So, what are we going to do? Did you see those two little kids today got arrested? I want to show you. This is what the world is coming to, people. This is what the world is coming to. In Florida, two Florida teens charged. Okay. Look at this. Look at this. Here we go on the King Geo show. In Florida today, two Florida teens held over alleged Columbine-style school shooting plan. Boys 13 and 14 charged with mass shooting conspiracy. Eighth graders attended Harns Marsh Middle School. I'm going to keep on reading. What's up, Mr. Random? Two students at a Florida middle school were arrested for allegedly plotting to carry out a shooting inspired by Columbine massacre, in which two teenagers killed 12 students and a teacher in Colorado in 1999. We were on a second away. We were 1 second away from Columbine here. The local sheriff said the 13 and 14-year-old boys were being held at a juvenile detention center on charges of conspiracy to commit mass shooting. The boys are both in the 8th grade, Harns Marsh Middle School in Lee County, 2 hours away from majority Stone Douglas High School in Parkland, where a shooting killed 17 people in 2018. The boys were arrested after students alerted a teacher that one might be carrying a gun in his backpack. The teacher notified administrators who carried out a search for no firearms were found, but the search did reveal a map of the school with the marks indicating the locations of interior cameras. Sheriff Carmine Marceno told reporters on Thursday. An investigation by the Sheriff's Department Youth Services Criminal Investigation Division found that the boys were involved in a plot to carry out a school shooting. This is 13 and 14 years old. White people. And I'm not saying this is racist, guys, because it's not. But these mass shootings are done by white people. Why? Why? Do you see 2 Puerto Ricans shooting up a school? No. Do you see 2 blacks shooting up a school? No. But all these school shootings, all these mass shootings are done by white people. Why? Why would a 13 and a 14-year-old boy wants to go out there and kill? Why would they want to do that? What's the reason behind that? Did their parents? That's what their parents taught them? Is that what they they take to the backyard to shoot and say everybody's bad? White people are bad, black people are bad, brown people are bad. So you just go out shooting? Is that what their parents are teaching them? What possesses these 2 young kids to do this? To even think about doing something like that? Just imagine if they wouldn't stop. We would have had another mass shooting. Kids probably would have been dead. And then these kids survive, right? When you have an elementary institution, now you gotta learn from them why they do this, why they do that. You have to learn all these things. A lot of things come from TV. A lot of things come from the home. No kid is born racist. No kid is born with a hate bone in their body. That is something that they are taught by their parents, whether it's mother or father. And it's a shame. Okay, it's a shame when I see a 13-year-old boy committing suicide because he cannot take it for bullying. I cannot fathom why you have a young boy who's 14, 13, 12, 9, 16, 17 years old commit suicide because he or she is gay. And they're being bullied, and that person cannot take it no more. And the only recourse, or the only way that they think they think the way out is by killing themselves. Where all these ignorant people are bullying them. Why? Why are people against other people? Why people hate, white people? Why do white people hate blacks? Why do people hate gays? Why do people hate people that are not you? Did that person did something to you? Did that person actually went to your home and did something? No. So what's your problem with a black man? And then the first thing, and I'm going to say, the first thing that a person does, a white person does, when they get in trouble with a black person, hey, you nigger, that's what they say. And I'm sorry, but that's what they say. Right? And then you smack them in the mouth, but you're wrong. Because that word has been indoctrinated in their mind since they were little kids, since they were watching TV, and if you're a hillbilly, that's what they teach you. Because back in the days, that word meant something different to what it means now. I'm assuming, right? But you don't go around. That's the first, like I said, just the first thing that a white person does says, yeah, you ain't nothing but a. Is that all you got? You ain't nothing but a. Can't you say, man, you ain't nothing but an uneducated black man. I mean, you ain't nothing but low trash. But you have to use the N-word just to make you feel better. Just to make you feel that, I can say that. Hmm? This is the society that we are living today. We're living in a society that no one cares for one another. When you have people like Candace Owens saying black on black, Candace Owens is a fool. Ben Shapiro's a fool. Rogan is a fool. Because good people, what good people try to do is they try to unite. All of us, we don't have the same mentality. We all don't have the same thoughts. It would be boring if we all thought the same. But what we do have is that we have the ability to speak. And if I say, all right, I want to do this, I think this is the best idea, and Mr. Randall says, oh no, King G, I think this is the best idea. So what do we do? I said, I don't think so. But what we can do is that we can compromise, right? And we can say, you know what? Let's take some of my idea and let's take some of your idea and let's mix them together and see what we get out of that mix. And if we don't get nothing out of that mix, boom, then we go back to the drawing board. Okay, we go back to the drawing board. We're living in a society that is just me, 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 me. That's what it is. That's what it is. And it's a shame. We got people on the left, oh, don't get vaccinated. People, hey, get vaccinated. People, hey, get vaccinated. Guys, have you thought when you wear your panties, why do you wear panties for? Panties don't do anything to you. You wear underwear don't do anything to you. But you wear them anyway, right? Is there a health reason why you wear panties? Is there a reason why you wear underwear? No, but you wear them anyway because you're used to it, right? Same thing with a mask. Why would you not wear a mask? If you wore a mask for 30 to 40 days, we would have been done with this. You know that it took the Jews 40 years to cross the river. Something that would have taken them days, but they refused in their hard-headedness. Them being hard-headed took them 40 years to cross something that would have taken days. And this is what's happening now. This is what's happening now. Oh, my rights are being violated. Ain't no rights being violated. They're just telling you put a cloth in your mouth. What's so big about that? Like I said before, you wear underwear, right? Does that give you any benefits? No, but you wear it and you walk all day long and you don't even notice that you have underwear on. You don't even notice that you have panties on, but you still wear them. You still wear them. Right? So we gotta stop living in this world of me, 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 me. We gotta start helping each other out. Doesn't matter the color of the skin. It doesn't. You know, people in China, they laugh at us. The Japanese laugh at us. The Europeans laugh at us because we're a country. We're supposed to be the greatest country. We're supposed to be the greatest country in the world, but yet we are not. We're not number one in anything. In anything. Not school. Not math. We are the only thing that we are number one is that we have the most incarcerated people in the world. That's it. The majority of people incarcerated, black people, they're in for minor offenses. Minor offenses. Well, you could take those jails and fill them up with real criminals. Real criminals. Okay? But they don't do that. Is there a racism when it comes to black people going to jail? Yes. Yes, there is. All right. And don't go by the statistics and don't go by this because yeah, those are numbers, but go into jail. Go into jail and talk to these inmates. Talk to the blacks, talk to the whites, talk to the Hispanics, and they'll tell you why they were there. They'll tell you why they're there. They'll tell you the time that they spent just for stealing a pen or what they did the first time. It's a lot. And then once the system grabs you, they don't want to let you go. They'll offer you probation, but you fuck up that probation, you're back. So, you know, if they gave me your King jail, I'm going to give you 2 years probation or a year in jail. Give me the year in jail. But I don't have to owe you shit. I do my year. Well, out of a year, maybe you do 8 months, 9 months. I'll do them, but I don't owe you jack shit. You know? And then you go to jail, and the jail doesn't rehabilitate you. There's some jails that don't rehabilitate you at all. You just do your time. Yeah, they have AA, they have NA, they have Christian group. You know, but if you go to Florida, if you go to Orange County Jail in Florida, you don't got a GED. They'll make you get a GED. You have to get a GED. You go see a doctor, you got no money. Once you get commissary money, that money going to the doctor. They charge you for being in the Orange County Jail. So it's becoming, they try to do everything to deter people not to go to jail, but they're not helping people out. They're not helping black people not go to jail. They're not doing anything. Okay, they see a black person, they ask for ID, they do this, they do that, and then when the black person doesn't want to give them their ID, the white cop gets belligerent, and that starts an altercation. All right. I personally, to get it over and done with, I show my ID, I do this, I do that. I want to get this over and done with, because you don't know if this cop had a bad day. You don't know this cop is woman, then give him a piece. You don't know what this man or woman is going through. So by you yelling and I know my rights, you're pissing him off, and somehow he's gonna take it out on you. So why give him that or her that privilege? Show your ID. Show your ID. You want to do what you gotta do. The quicker we do this, I go on my way, you go your way, and I take care of this in court. Simple. But we have people who saying my American rights. I mean my amendments, my rights, my constitutional rights. Yes, we all have constitutional rights, people. But remember this: cops don't care about your constitutional rights. Courts don't care about the constitutional right. All right. I'll give you an example. I'll tell you one thing. You go to court, right? Let's just say a cop stops you. You're being okay. You're being compliant, and the cops all of a sudden just decides to beat you up, right? And as he's beating you up, you defending yourself, and you beat the cop up. And it's on camera that the cop slapped you, he knocked you down, he kicked you, he hit you with a baton or whatever the case may be. And then you got your win back, you got back up, and bam, bam, bam. You tussle with the cop. Then you gave him a black guy a broken lip. But he started it, right? What's going to happen? You're going to get charged for assaulting an officer. He's not going to get charged. Once you go into the courtroom, a judge may ask you what happened. Well, he got to a fight with the police officer, and then they might say, he started it, but they won't say that the cop started it, right? So a police officer beats you up, but you can't beat up a police officer. You see? So that's why I prefer just giving him or her my ID and just let it go, get it over and done with. Now, as I'm doing this, I also am not going to let no cop touch me. I respect you, you respect me, but I will not let you touch me. I will not let you try to degrade me or manhandle me. I don't think so. You do what you got to do, and that's it. But that it is. The DOJ files immediate injunction to halt enforcement of Texas abortion law. That's another thing. That's another thing. Your body, your choice. You decide what you want to do with your body, because it's your body. It's not the state's body. It's not the government's body. It's your body. So if you choose that you want to sleep with 10 men, that's your choice. If you want to choose to have 10 babies, then that's your choice. And if you choose that you want to get an abortion, well, that's your choice. That is your choice, not the government's. It's not the government's job to regulate or tell you what you can and can't do with your body. Texas tell you that you cannot get an abortion, but yet they tell you you're violating my rights for wearing a mask. You're telling me that I cannot wear a mask. I mean, you're telling me that I have to wear a mask. You are telling me that I have to wear a mask. That you're violating my rights. That's Texas. This is Texas telling you this. And on the other hand, they go, you cannot get an abortion. No, you cannot get an abortion because the Bible says abortion is no good. By the way, there's nowhere in the Bible that says anything about abortion. Okay? But the Bible says thou shalt not kill. Kill what? Don't go out there and do Jeffrey Dahmer stuff and go killing son of Sam. No, you don't go on a rampage and go killing innocent people. But you have that choice of right. The same way God gave you the choice to love, the same way God gave you the choice to love him or hate him, The same way God gave you the choice, you have the will to do good or bad. That's your choice. God is almighty. When you do something wrong, he's not gonna hit you in the hand. Hey, King, you don't do that. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, you can't do that. No, that's on you. For rules, you obey them or you don't obey them. Same way. But rules, when it comes to rules that are appropriate, you cannot take the rights of someone, of a woman, and say no. You just imagine in Texas, you have the girl or female having sex with her father or her uncle or a family member and has to have that baby because Texas says there's no law. And then Texas says that before 6 weeks, you cannot have anything after 6 weeks, you cannot have an abortion. Hello, in 6 weeks, there is no heart rate. There is no heart rate. It's electrical pulses, but there is no heart rate. There's not even a heart. A heart hasn't even been formed in 6 weeks. That's how much these doctors for this Abbott has in Texas. So you see? So Gabby Petito, where are you, Gabby Petito? If anyone has seen this young lady, please leave me a comment, leave me where I can get in contact with you, or you can tell me where you saw her so I can call the appropriate authorities in the state that you said that you saw her so I can alert them. Or if you saw any foul play on behalf of that gentleman that you thought you saw someone in the woods dumping a body, or whatever the case may be, or a girl is walking by her own and she doesn't know who she is, just call. This is something that we should stick together. It's something that we should do together, Like I said, as a parent, I don't know how I would take it. It hasn't happened to me. I hope it doesn't happen to me. This is not something any parent should go through. But that's what it is, and we are living in a world that you got sick individuals, sick individuals, and we need to stop. We really need to stop. We need to do things the right way. We need to start looking out for each other. Guys, I'm gonna start doing a podcast, man. I'm gonna start doing a podcast because in podcast I can talk more and express myself more. Probably won't get that much monetary, but I don't even get monetary here in YouTube as much as I would like to. Yes, my conflicts are boring, perhaps to say, but I bear gifts. I'm just, I don't like to be controversial. I like to be honest with people, and I'm very bold. And when I say something, I truly do mean it. If I say, if I tell you I love you because I love you, you will never hear my voice. You will never hear come on my voice come say I hate you. That word will never come out of my voice. I've been saying I don't like you, but you will never hear my voice. But if I say I love you because I really do love you, in whatever way, in a friend way, in a girlfriend way, in a wifey way, whatever case may be, but I love you. I take that word serious. I take my friendship to someone serious. I don't. Life is too short to be trying to be slick and try to be better than somebody else. That's not me. What you see with me is what you get. I'm very honest in what I say, and if you're my friend and if you're my circle of friends, then you should feel proud because I don't let just anyone in. And you know that, and you're my circle of friends, and you want to do something, you want to better yourself. I'm here. I'm the one that's going to tell you go for it. And no matter how bad it sounds, we're going to go for it. I want to help you push forward. Because you got to take chances in life. If you don't take chances in life, you never know. Never let an opportunity go by. Okay? Never let an opportunity go by. If you want to open up a store, you want to do this, you want to do that. If you want to open up a little truck that sells food, so go for it. Go for it. Don't be shy. People say, "Oh, but I want to fail." No, failing is if you don't try. If you don't try, you fail. If you don't try, you fail. But if you try and things don't go the way you want them to go, then you recoup and you say, "Okay, what is it that I did wrong?" You take out a piece of paper, you write it down and say, "Well, this is what I did wrong. This is what I didn't do wrong," and blah 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 blah. And that's what you do, right? So yeah. So like I said, guys, I will be doing the road to alcoholism and the road to recovery pretty soon. They're probably going to be in increments of maybe 20 minutes a piece or 30 minutes. I want to do several videos. You guys let me know how it is. Let everybody that if you have an alcoholic, if someone who's drinking in your family and wants to really truly become sober, or if you have someone in your family that is an addict and truly wants to become clean of drugs, when I do this video, please sit down with them, and I will have a number out so they can talk, and maybe we can help because we need this. We need to rescue our youth. We need to rescue the people that we love. Because you got to remember one thing though, addicts and alcoholics, they don't realize, and I'm telling you from experience, they don't realize that their addiction and their alcoholism hurts the people they love. They don't usually see it because we usually drunk or they're usually high, and so we don't see it. And when you become sober and you become clean, that's when you do see it. Like, oh, wow, I hurt my mom this much. Oh, I hurt my dad this much. Oh, I hurt my girlfriend this much. I hurt my wife. I hurt my kids. You don't see it until you're clean and sober, you know. And there's nothing impossible. There's nothing impossible. So if you want to get clean and you want to get sober, I join my channel. Subscribe to my channel. I also have perks on my channel. You can subscribe to my perks. They're $1.99, $3.99, and $4.99. The $4.99 gives you an exclusive talk with me alone. So we can do that, and we can talk alone on YouTube, and people can hear, but they cannot make no comments. They cannot do anything. So it'll be a one-on-one, and then other people listen to it. But this is what I want to do. This is what I want to put out there. I want to put out messages. I want to put out a message where that you know that you're not alone. That there is help out there. There are people who care about you. And Gabby Petito, I hope and pray to God that you are okay. I hope and pray to God that you are somewhere scared because maybe it's too dark. You don't know where you're at. You don't know, but I hope that you come home safe to your parents, to your family members, to those who love you. And we just gotta pray. We just gotta pray that the outcome is a positive one. All right. So guys, thank you for watching my YouTube channel. This is King Gio in the house. And like I said, I do apologize for my lateness. I apologize for my absentees. Like I said, my arthritis is killing me. I decided to do this today because I saw the young girl. And plus I wanted to vent. My days have not been going very well lately. Or personal problems. And I'm not one to get depressed. Depression has never been my forte. I don't like it. Never been depressed. I don't know what it feels like. But I wouldn't want to feel it. So I try to, when I feel uptight, either I go outside, drive my car, or this is the first time that I've been upset. And I turn on the YouTube and do a live. And it has relaxed me, even though I don't get too much views, but it has relaxed me. So I was able to talk what I wanted to talk. And hopefully this young lady, Gabby Petito gets found. Gabby Petito gets found today. Okay, so look at the news, find out where she was last seen, and go do a search party, man. Do a search party, because it's weird that her car came back with her boyfriend and she didn't come back. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Watch my videos, because that's the only way that King Gio can get up there with the moaning. With the moaning. See how King Gio makes moaning? You make moaning. All right? All right, man, guys. God bless you and peace out.